The next one I think is more interesting to me personally because I recently underwent it, but acupuncture and moxibustion. So acupuncture is one of those things that's done around the world now, like probably everywhere. Like a lot of, if you were in Los Angeles, you could go get acupuncture like tomorrow if you wanted. So I actually underwent acupuncture, like, I don't know, 10 times in the last month.
That's kind of intense, no?
It was very intense. And some of the practices I feel must be relatively modern that were done on me because they electrified it.
What?
So yeah, because I hurt my neck and I had was having spasms as a like small jerking motions as a consequence of the pain. And so they weren't just doing acupuncture on me. Some of the acupuncture they put electrodes on. I want to say that's the right word. I don't know. And they were sending pulses of electricity. So I was twitching like in time with the electrical pulse. The doctor was saying that this is to regulate my spasms so that my body would learn not to spasm. Eventually, the spasms did go away.
That sounds like
I was
like
actually in a lot of pain, not just because of the acupuncture, because I was in pain. And so after they stuck all the needles in me and I was pulsing with electricity, I was kind of hunched over and like this, and it felt like a little like torture to me, not because of the acupuncture itself, but because it was like causing a tiny spasm. And my wife was there, the whole time. She's such a sweetheart. She stayed with me through the entire process. And I looked up at her while she was filming me and I said, whatever I've done, I'm so sorry.
Can we please make that video available to at least to our listeners? I would love to see. I need to see that. That's the whole reason why she stayed in the room with you, so she could take that video. I love that. I love moments like that. But was this your first encounter with acupuncture?
Yeah, I mean, I hadn't had any. No, that's not true. I was in Beijing one time. I was going to meet with my wife's uncle, and he was like, "Oh, I've become quite good at acupuncture." And he before we went to dine, he was like, "Pull up your shirt," and I was like, "Okay." So he stuck a bunch of needles in my stomach.
My God!
Not into the organ, but into the tissue, right? My fatty tissue and I said, "What's this for?" And after he got all the needles in, he said, "This will help you lose weight."
Oh my God! But does he have the license to
I don't know, but it didn't.
Oh, but you just, I think it's just a test. It's like, this American guy going to accept our family to the max? And this is my ultimate test on this guy. And if he says yes, then it's good.
Anyways, it didn't hurt at all. The acupuncture, sticking the needles in to my back muscles hurt very briefly for like 10th of a second. And then after the needle was in there, you almost don't even notice it.
I only tried it once.
Have you had it? You have? What did you have it for?
It was recommended by a friend who was going there kind of on a regular basis. I went because, I have a constant sleeping problem. I dream a lot, so I'm always tired when I wake up, and sometimes I have trouble sleeping.
Wow.
Yeah, I guess I'm just worried about really important issues for the world, and I have too much on my brain, in my brain, on my shoulder. No, I had that problem, and basically I lied down on my left, and he put needles on my ankle, my side part of my knee.
I remember. Yeah, you told me this before.
I think so. Yeah, I think we talked about this. And then, of course, on my face as well. One time of acupuncture is not going to have a significant effect on whatever problem you have. And I only went once. I guess after that session, because you have to let the needles stay on you for 45 minutes. And during that 45 minutes, you're just lying down there quietly. And he asks you to very specifically close your eyes. Do not leave your eyes open during that 45 minutes because you have to seal every outlet of your body so that the needles could do their work. After that 45 minutes rest, I did feel pretty good, but the sleeping problems were not really alleviated because I didn't go back. Did they heal you?
I can't tell the entire story because it's really long. It would take our entire episode. Yeah. But I had a disc that had cracked in my neck. It's called a cervical disc, which I found confusing because I always thought cervix is somewhere else. Anyways, so you have your spinal column, you have above your rib cage that are not connected to your ribs are called your cervical discs. And one of them cracked open and it leaked out the jelly stuff that's inside and it pushed on my nerve. It was pressing on my nerve and I went to see a doctor at a huge hospital, very reputable general hospital. We went to a specialist, and that specialist said the only way to deal with this was to have surgery to remove the disc. And they were going to have to remove the disc from inside my spinal column. And he said there was a 1 or 2% chance I could end up in a wheelchair permanently.
And that's probably a 3 or 4 months of recovery time.
He said I could start to maybe walk in 2 or 3 or 4 weeks, but I would start to walk, and it would take intense physical. So we were like, okay, let's go somewhere else and get another opinion. So we went to a traditional Chinese hospital, not just some roadside acupuncturist. Okay, so
like a very legitimate with the license.
A huge, massive hospital with several floors and like dozens of doctors inside, registered medical doctors who were also acupuncturists and did traditional Chinese medicine. And we saw one doctor, and he gave us some physical therapy. And I wasn't really getting that much better, actually. I felt like I wasn't recovering. So we went to see a different doctor in the same hospital. And that doctor, MD, he gave me some Chinese traditional medicine, and I recovered within a week or 2.
Sometimes these things are just, it's kind of like magic, I guess, because it's been, I mean, we will have an episode talking about traditional Chinese medicine. I don't want to go into all the details, but because they have been people have been practicing it or receiving it in China for thousands of years. And that's way before science. So I know a lot of it. It's like, oh, we can't really put a finger on.
Well, I mean, some of this has been tested by science too.
Yeah, but it's such a massive medical science subject. It's so big. It's hard to, test everything. And that's why some parts of it are not really clearly understood as to why it works that way.
What's really nice is I am not going to have surgery. And this is not just like, oh, I feel great. We actually did an MRI and like
it got better.
Yeah, I'm pretty much recovered. I still feel like I need to be safe with my spine, safer than before.
Yeah, please do always.
I don't want to re-injure the same area or whatever, but I feel great. So for those of you who are wondering if you can seek out traditional Chinese medicine, do so. Maybe it won't work for you, and maybe you will have to resort to other means, but at least give it a try,
Yeah, and it's also like, if you really look into it, this is part of the reason why traditional Chinese medicine is part of the cultural heritage of China. It really carries the kind of, the fruit of the civilization from different time periods in Chinese history.